The next thing I'm going to show you is how to do a simple relationship. So I'm going to go back to my database. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to make a simple relationship. So I need to go back to my defining my database. So what I'm going to do now is add an address for the person, making sure it's a text, and I'm going to add the suburb. Now I could create a postcode in here, but it would mean I need to enter the postcode each time that I enter the suburb. So if you've got lots of entries that are the same, you have to enter the data all the time. So I'm going to do something different. I'm going to click on tables here. Now these are the different tables that we have available. So I'm going to create another one and call it suburb. And then I want to go back and define the fields in this suburb one. So I'm going to put suburb again. And then this is different to the other table we had. So I can have the same field name twice and it won't be confusing. And I'm going to also put in a postcode, making sure it's a number. Now I want to do a couple of things with this one. With this one, I want to make it some of the data so that there are some restrictions. So I'm going to make this one so it's unique. In other words, you can't enter the same suburb name twice. And let's assume this is only for New South Wales, so that there's going to be no duplications anyway. In the postcode, I'm going to do in here maximum number of value characters for. Postcodes are actually in range, and they start from 1,000 and they go to 9,999. Approximately, there are some values not used, but most postcodes in New South Wales and Australia go between those values there. So now I have my two tables, a class table with all these fields and a suburb table with these two fields. I now need to create a relationship. So what I want to do here is I want to join the suburb in my second table to the suburb in my first. If I double click on this middle bit, it gives me some rules and things that I can do with this. So what I want to be able to do here, enter data in this class table, and the data will go into the suburb table. So here I have an equals, and I can change some of the values that I have in there. But what I also want to do is allow data to be created in this table when I enter it in this table. There are also some other rules I'm going to have here, such as deleting and sorting records, but I'm not going to worry about that at the moment. So here I now have my two tables. I have my fields for my two different tables, and I have a list of my tables. So I'm going to click OK on that one. Now you notice here that the only things that have been added is the address and the suburb that we created. The postcode hasn't come in, so we need to actually include that. So I'm going to click on the layout tool, and it gives me some tools down here that I can use. So what I want to add in here is a field, and I want to add the postcode field, and it asks me to specify the type of field that I want. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the suburb table and click on postcode. I don't actually want the label here for postcode because I'm going to know what it is anyway, so I'm just going to click off that one. If I click OK, you notice it's got two colons at the front, so that's telling me it's from a different table. If I go back to the browse, making sure I save it, I have some data here, so I'm going to enter some data for Fred. Let's put him in Hinchinbrook. And the postcode for Hinchinbrook is 2168. If I create a new record now, I won't worry about entering any data, but if I write in Hinchinbrook, the postcode comes up automatically. So that allows quick and simple data entry for this sort of thing.